Very pleased with how this turned out. This was my first attempt at making a stone threshold to kind of match the other stone thresholds here, and yeah, I mean that'll do. That'll be a nice little addition here. In the kitchen, we have a stone threshold that is missing. It never was a nice threshold. We had to remove it for the purposes of bringing pipes out, but it was kind of not a nice stone anyways. So that stone that I just shaped will fit right there. As you saw, we just brought in a ridiculous amount of cement here. I would say there's about 100 bags of cement. And that's because we also have 7 tractor loads of sand arriving because we need to pour the final layer of concrete over top of the in-floor heating that we have just installed. Now, you guys have been saying since the beginning, where's the cement truck? Where's the pump? Well, you can't get a cement truck up here. It's impossible. The road won't handle it. But we were able to find a very small mixer pump on a trailer that we can pull up for this final pour, since even though it's just raising up the level just a little bit because we're doing the entire house in one day, 100 bags of cement, 7 tractor loads of sand is simply a little bit too much to do by hand. So we're bringing in some help. Well, there we go. Very pleased with that. Obviously, it'll not be so dark once it dries from being washed, but that is a beautiful stone. And my first time shaping something so large, and I'm pleased with how it came together here. This style of stonework at the entrance to the barn is a very typical design in this region. It's a very historic design, and we wanted to preserve it. Unfortunately, we had to remove the stones in the building process of everything else, but we're now placing them back and then bringing in a nice, beautiful stone to act as a step. And then we'll have these beautiful stones to sit on outside as well as a step up into the house.
Voilà.
Well, good morning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous this morning because if you can see behind me, we have a massive mountain of sand to mix with cement and to haul into this house to cover up the in-floor heating. We've tackled some pretty big mixing projects before, but nothing comes close to today. And yes, we are gonna attempt to do all of this in a single day. Once again, of course, we have the dream team coming to help us get this done, as well as some very specialty equipment that includes a pump. Finally, a pump, so that we won't have to carry this in by hand. As you can imagine, it's extremely crucial to maintain the door and window sizes as we pour this concrete floor. Trying to make sure I've got the entire list of all the different measurements. I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally mix them up. We're burying these into the concrete and drilling them into the beams because, well, you want a sturdy railing, and that's going to be the tie-in for the railings. Really quick, Bradey from the future here. I'm obviously at the airport getting ready to head out. It's been a really long time since I've been to a new country, but that's obviously the beauty of where we're located here in Italy. Our airport is really well connected to so many countries with shockingly affordable prices. But before I head out, I need to get my cell phone plan sorted, but with Olafly, that's extremely easy. All I have to do is download an app, and within minutes I have an eSIM installed on my phone so that my phone works immediately upon arriving. Olafly offers you an eSIM to over 200 destinations, with 155 of those destinations having unlimited data. And I think you'd be surprised by how affordable those unlimited data plans are. One time a long time ago, I didn't have one of these eSIMs and I accidentally turned on my phone while overseas, and immediately I was hit with a $30 fee prior to even using my phone. But for far less than that, you can get unlimited data to the entirety of Europe. All right, so how does this work? Well, instead of using a physical SIM card, Olafly uses a digital SIM card that can be installed in minutes, so you can keep your your original phone plan already installed. You don't have to mess with anything, and you'll use the digital one that Olafly provides you. We've personally used Olafly long before they were a channel sponsor, and we have used other eSIM providers, but we've always come back to Olafly because the interface is so much simpler to use, and Olafly offers unlimited data. So go ahead and check out the link in the description below or scan this QR code on screen. And right now, if you use the coupon code RAISINGVoyagers, you'll get an extra 5% off any purchase or top off. Now, let's get back at it, but thank you so much to Olafly for sponsoring today's video. This little guy right here is gonna make our life so much easier today. But we are transferring this pump into the tractor because the tractor is the only thing that can make it up this hill right here.
Cala un po'.
We're gonna have the same delivery problem very soon as we're gonna have our doors and windows delivered soon, which is super exciting, as well as the flooring. And that's the flooring is I think a 3,000 kilogram delivery, something like that. So unfortunately, it takes a little bit of extra time to transfer from one truck to the tractor and then by hand into the house, but that's the only way to get things up this road.
Stai lì pronto qui.
Vai. Posto. Piano.
Aspetta che lascio la corda, che sennò. Buona.
That little tiny crane on top of that truck is not exactly meant to carry this much weight, so we're all a little nervous that we're gonna end up tipping over the truck or causing damage to the pump itself. This is the compressor that pumps the actual mixer, and it weighs just a ton. This guy mixes the cement with the sand and then uses a compressed air line to then pump the mix of cement into the house using this massive hose here. It's gonna make a massive difference. This entire project would not be possible to be done in one day. I'm actually a little hesitant that we're gonna be able to do it in one day because we're getting a little bit of a late start. The road right now is a little bit too wet to bring up the compressor that pumps the air into the mixer. Thankfully, we can leave it in front of the house on the road and then run the line up to the mixer itself. Now, while this mixer and pump makes a huge difference as we won't have to carry the concrete into the house, we still have to shovel everything by hand. Adesso dimmi, come ti pensi pesa questo sabbio qui? 200 quintali? 200 quintali in kilograms is 20,000 kilograms of weight. That's 44,000 pounds to carry into the house. Sorry, not to carry into the house, to mix by hand. 44,000 pounds of sand plus another 5,000 pounds of cement to shovel into this mixer and then pump into the house. This is obviously important work, making sure that we set level throughout the entire house. It's also judging my own work because if you remember, we weren't able to set level to the house in an open manner. We didn't have a door connecting these two rooms at the time. So we set level using a water level and using a tube full of water, and we're judging now if that actually worked. We've already measured upstairs from one end of the house to the other, And thankfully all of my measurements were correct because the house actually tilts a little bit, the floor tilts, and I was able to account for that. But we're about to find out if I measure things correctly downstairs. That matters for the height placement of this stone threshold here to that stone threshold there, because originally we did not have this doorway here. So we measured the height of the floor from here to here without having the ability to look from room to room. And we're about to find out if that measurement was correct. Quant'è? Bellissimo, perfetto, grazie. That's definitely a sigh of relief. Everything is level and spot on. I was pretty sure that this stone in here was good because we had double, triple checked that, but I wasn't entirely sure from end to end of the house we were level, because I knew that the floorboards themselves tilted to an angle, which of course we're going to kind of correct that with the final pour today, make everything square. But I didn't know if my measurements for the windows accounted for that enough, and it was spot on, so very pleased with that. So if you watched our video where we installed the in-floor heating tubes, you might be confused today because I mentioned repeatedly that we're going to be using a very sloppy, soupy Screed, which was self-leveling. That was the original plan. It's a lot easier to get it all level because it's kind of auto-leveling. But we decided against that because just worried that that soupy mixture would seep down into the ceiling and kind of ruin the ceiling and the walls that we have done and all of that. So we're going with a very dry mix. It's actually pumping out a little bit too dry currently. So we need to kind of fine tune the mixture. In the end, it doesn't really make a difference whether you use a self-leveling Screed or a dry mix like this, as long as the job gets done. Right now it's coming out just a little bit too dry, but it will compact and we will be able to get this to work. And then the next batch came out a little bit too wet, so we're at least getting closer. Well, I'm astonished that in just what felt like a couple of minutes, our first room is finished. These guys are professionals. This is literally all they do is this finished final pour. Later on, we'll come back and float this with a motorized floater thing. I don't know the terminologies, but you'll get to see that in a minute. It's pretty cool. But for now, it's just super impressive to watch this guy floating by hand and making sure everything is level. The way he grabs a handful of concrete and kind of splashes it out and then scrapes over top of it. I feel like I'm learning a lot, but in reality, I think if I went and tried to apply that visual knowledge now, it would be an embarrassment. So I'm just very thankful to have an excellent team here because you really only get one chance to make sure the final level is perfect.
crown. I'm the cold that shields the rain, to keep you dry, you never will complain. You don't need me in the sun, and I can feel that we're building every day. But I will stay where you need me. Know my heart made my foundation shake, but I won't change till you tell me. I'm the ghost that hides away. I walk the halls to make sure you are safe. You are fast asleep. I'm the pill that hides the pain. I pick you up and wash the hurt away. Holding on tight, and I can feel that building every day. But I will stay where you need me. Know my heart made my foundation shake, but I won't change till you tell me. I won't go.
Mixing the concrete, Alessio is building us a beautiful little stone ledge here. This is the outside of the kids' room, and he's just shaped up these beautiful stones here, filling up the entire ledge with stones that are the same size, and then we'll have a nice little door that runs across here. And then this will all lead down from steps down to a stone patio. The insulation there is just only to act as a thermal bridge against insulation, especially for the cold, because these stones will just kind of suck the cold into the house. So having just a little bit of a thermal break there is rather helpful. I am beyond stunned with how fast this is going today. I had nothing to worry about. We are plowing through this final pour. The pump definitely helps a lot. I'm surprised how much easier it is with, of course, the right team and the right equipment. So to give you an explanation of how this machine works, inside this drum down here, it's mixing up the sand and cement. And then once it's all mixed up and it's full, you close this lid and then you open up air here that's coming in from a large compressor, and it pumps the air in. And then that increased pressure causes all of the cement to be pushed out through a large hose into the house. That massive machine there is just an air compressor that is running up air up through this line into that machine. To be honest, I'm a little dumbfounded how we have completely finished, and it is, what, 3:45 in the afternoon. I had prepared myself for a very long night to get this done. I went to bed extra early last night preparing for a very long day, and we even got a very late start due to some technical problems, and I cannot believe that we just flew through that entire thing. I'm gonna clean up, close up, especially for that goat who's trying to get in all the time. And then I'm gonna go home and rest, and we'll check it on it tomorrow. Wow, this feels somewhat surreal, to be honest. Being at the finished level, it kind of changes the whole perspective, and finally to have a solid surface to walk around on. To get to this stage where we are finished with the in-floor heating and all of the tubes are covered and safe, and to be moving on to bigger and better things, and to be moving into a new stage where we're literally pretty much ready to lay tile in the bathroom. We need to close up a few other things first, but my goodness, we are really, really moving on, and could not be more happy. Thanks so much for watching and supporting us, and we will see you next week.